What's the excitement like to kind of get the new season underway?
It's great. The girls are excited. It's a really new group. A lot of good youth in the mix. The older girls have been leading by example and setting the tone very clearly, which is great. The fit, for the most part, we're pretty healthy. A couple things we got to still sort out in terms of the health side of things, but that should be sorted out by the end of this weekend, which will be nice to have a couple players back, and we feel good. It's a really good energy amongst the group.
When you guys had so much success from the freshmen last year, the underclassmen, did that allow you to bring in more freshmen this year? Kind of, that really worked out last year, and hoping for more success for the freshmen that are coming in this season.
Yeah, absolutely. The young players have played an important role in the past season, even the year before that. We expect that to be the case. Anytime we bring players in, it's for a reason, and we don't bring them in to sit on the bench. We bring them in to play. And our older players know that, and our older players know that they got to continue to work. And what's nice is that for the first time this year, even with a smaller older group, those girls are going to be impactful. The older group's going to be impactful. The young group coming in is impactful, and it's just a really fun group to be around.
For any team, I'm sure the first couple of matches very important, but in this conference, we know how difficult this conference is.
Yeah.
And for you guys, no cupcakes to begin. I mean, you guys faced some pretty good opponents. How important is this non-league schedule, especially the team with a lot of newcomers?
The good news with newcomers and young players is that they don't know any better. They don't know who we should beat. They don't know who we should on paper lose to, and quite frankly, nobody on the team cares. So that's exciting for us. Is our girls, they know how to win. The returners have done it now with increasing numbers every year since we've been here, and the new players, it's what they do. They know how to win. So that's exciting for us, and it's important because if we can get on a good rhythm against some of these teams, opening up against SPU on Thursday afternoon is going to be a top 25 opponent. We're going to play Concordia after that. They'll probably be in the top 30, if not the top 25. Then the following weekend, have to travel again, go to Dixie. That's going to be a big time in region opponent, and then Colorado Mesa could very easily be a top 25 opponent again. So we're coming out of the gate swinging for sure. But to have that challenge, to be able to evaluate that game film, to be able to evaluate what we need to do to get better, is going to prepare us for the conference, because our conference is the best conference in the country, and playing these teams is the only thing that will allow us to prepare for our conference.
You guys played some really close matches last year. I mean, you could even have more wins, but just the things didn't go your guys' way. Is there added personnel or just added experience that's going to kind of put you over the top in those, when you guys are in a close game, if it's tied or,
Sure.
You guys are down a goal?
Sure. I think the reality is that you get that experience by living those moments. And our girls lived those moments last year. The returners know those moments. They know what it feels like to be on the road and have to get a win. And they know what they did to get that win, and they know what they did when we didn't get that win. And as a staff, we're stronger for it. As a cohesive unit of a roster, we're stronger for it. And our older players have done a really good job relaying that message to the young kids, teaching them what it takes to see out a game, what it feels like to grind that out on the road when you're at San Francisco State, for example, and you just need a draw, and getting that done, which is so difficult in our conference. So our girls understand that we can't drop points. Our girls understand that we need to give points every single game, and our older players are teaching the younger players what that means, and it's exciting to see that.
When the coaches poll came out last week, you said, that it's for motivation. Here it is. What did you tell the team after those, rankings, expected finish came out? What did you tell your team, and what do you think, how your team will respond?
To be honest, we haven't even talked about it because it doesn't affect us. The things that affect us are the things that we can control, and we can't control what the other coaches in the conference think about us at this point. And to be quite honest, what they think about us doesn't mean anything, because we're going to finish where we're going to finish based on what we do. So if they want to put us in that role and say that we're number 9, that's fine. But to be very, very honest, we've had a lot of goal setting meetings, we've talked about a lot of things, and that conversation has never come up, and I don't anticipate that it will, because our girls do not care.
You guys in the net last season had some success. Who is the keeper this season?
Oh, of course, always the $1 million question. We don't know yet, to be very honest. We'll have a better idea at the end of today's training session. Alex and Caitlin are fantastic. We're so fortunate to have 2 very, very talented young goalkeepers. Each one presents a different skill set because of athleticism, size, their ball handling, their distribution. it's very even and it's very competitive, and it's exciting to have that. It's the first time we've really had a true positive competition, and the two of them get along so well. They're pushing each other, they're joking around with each other, they're having a great time with it. So we're confident that whatever decision is made is going to be one that's positive for both of them. But right now, we just feel lucky to have two very good options.
Is it a decision that will be your keeper for the early going of the season, or could there be some kind of rotation, kind of depending on matchups and just who's, you know?
Sure. We're not to the matchup point of things yet. You know, with two young kids like that, we've got to be smart. We've got to make sure that we save eligibility. If we need to do that, we've got to make sure that we give the program the best opportunity to win now and in the future. So, with that being said, whatever decision we go with now, if it's going well, then we go with it. If something needs to change, then we'll change it. But to be fair, in the exhibition games, both have been fantastic. You know, we've got to be scored on in 2 exhibition games against 2 good programs. And to be able to say that is something pretty good.
Last question for me. This is year 4?
Going into season 4, yeah.
Season 4. What have you learned, especially as a coach in CC2A matchups facing these California teams over the last 3+ years?
Sure. You know, you always know that you can't take anything for granted. The moment that you're in is the most important moment that you have. And our ability to take advantage of each one of those moments has gotten better. Whether it's the timeliness that we make changes in that moment, whether it's the substitution patterns, whether it's the way we travel, the way we train. Every single year we've found different wrinkles to add to the program, and this year's no different. And really it's the ability of our players to adjust to what we as a staff are learning and what we're implementing that's allowed us to be successful. It's so much of what they do is really important.